Hey, my question is in regards to the mod tools. You showed like tomato lings and like custom units, but I noticed that they were still called banelings. Is there a way to, in like the editors, change the name of said units?
Actually, Justin's.
Yeah, so the art tools are just a tool to take any art you make into StarCraft 2, but then you can use the data editor to hook up that art to any new unit you want. So basically, you just create a new unit, you would call it Tomato Ling, and then you just link up that new art to that unit.
Cool, thanks.
Hi guys, my name's Keith. I have a question about StarCraft 2 custom maps in general. In Warcraft 3, we saw you could just create a map, people could download it, then they could host it, and they'd filter through. And eventually, every time, every refresh, you get a new list, etc. But in StarCraft 2, it's all Blizzard popular maps that are on the first 2 pages or so. Are there any changes to like get map developers more like screen time when they come out with a new map or anything?
Yeah, so to address that problem, we're adding that queuing system that I was talking about. If you're the map creator, you can just host one of your games, and people will automatically join your game via fun or not if you wait there long enough.
Okay. All right, thank you.
No problem.
Hey guys, I had a question. When the new exporter to 3DS is going to come out and the texture compatibility between StarCraft and 3DS?
So the exporter is roughly covariant with Heart of the Swarm. We plan that. We're anticipating them to be near each other. For the texture compatibility between 3D Studio Max and game, we use a custom bitmap in 3D Studio Max that you will bind a regular TGA to, and it will get automatically converted to DDS of the proper type for DXN or regular DXT5 compression automatically. Our artists don't worry about it. You shouldn't have to.
So no mental ray or anything?
We do not support the native 3D Studio Max bitmaps in StarCraft 2 materials, and there are some other issues trying to render StarCraft 2 materials as mental ray things. Mental ray's overall hook can work in certain cases.
Thank you.
I'd like to take this chance to thank you for finally releasing something for 3ds Max. I mean, we've had the third-party tool from the community, and yeah, it does a good job, but you can't do things like barrel roll or Terratron, you know, breakdancing. It just doesn't work. But my question is this. So if we create a content, let's say a Wargaming Marine as opposed to a Tauren Marine, there's no real central way to pull that down. So you can't go out and say, oh, I want a custom unit. But there's no way, no central site, no central repository to go out and pull some. So is there something like that that you're thinking of setting up, perhaps?
Honestly, I don't think we've had a discussion about that, but that sounds like an awesome idea, and should probably take it back and talk to people about it.
Well, yes, I can tell you we have thought about it, but right now we're just primarily trying to get the arcade set up so that you can find custom games to play. There's a lot of improvements we can make there. Once we get that established, we'll definitely talk about that, and hopefully we'll have something in the future, but no promises.
Okay, thank you.
Hi. I wanted to know, with you planning on adding so many awesome epic characters, what's the odds of you adding, say, blank Paladin hero that I can then take my Paladin and put him in Dota? Like he'll always have like the same abilities as all the other people's or something like that.
Well, we're really just going for these iconic Blizzard heroes for Dota. But one thing we are going to let you do is we're talking about different ways that you can customize how your hero looks inside of Dota. So already out on the floor, when you have Uther, you can change, just what color that he appears for you. However, we can do things with skins, different looking mounts, and all sorts of things. So you do have that ability to customize it how you want. But we're going to stick with iconic Blizzard heroes.
Thank you.
So another question about heroes. I was wondering if you're going to release more heroes or add more heroes to the mod as time goes on. Are you guys going to keep working on it and bring in new ones, or is this it? It's set?
No, this is not set. Actually, what you're seeing on the show floor right now is only, I think it's like 12 heroes. We actually have 16 in our internal build, and we're constantly working on more. Like, for instance, like, I mean, I can say this hero with confidence, but, I mean, you saw Illidan in actually one of Matt Shimbari's videos, and you also saw, like, the Murloc Marine in the Sizzle trailer. I mean, that's just some of the examples of heroes that we plan to release. In the future, we plan to also, like, ship more.
Oh, awesome, thank you.
Hi, so with StarCraft 2 editor, we're talking about the cutscene editor and the new art. In terms of map size, are these going to dramatically increase your limit, or will they not actually count to your total map size you have on Battle.net?
So cutscene files are actually very small. They're just XML files. So I really, even a very large cutscene, if it has a lot of assets in it, it's not adding more than, say, a couple K to describe what the cutscene is. It doesn't add to the art itself, because the art's already in the mod, and that's part of the dependency. So it doesn't add much to the map itself.
Hi, so I haven't seen Blizzard address this yet. Are there currently plans to increase the script size limit for maps?
I hope so, because I like playing Mafia.
Yeah.
We have time for a few more questions.
Yeah, I was wondering, have you ever considered the possibility of maybe releasing Blizzard Dota as its own independent game, standalone, like independent from StarCraft 2?
Well, we are releasing it with the starter edition, so in a lot of ways that kind of does do that. But our goal is to get it into the hands of as many people as possible and make the barrier for entry as low as possible. So yeah, right now we're focused really hard on just making it awesome, but yeah, it's definitely one of our goals.
All right, thank you.
Hey, you talked a little bit about the 3ds Max exporter, and this may be a little selfish, but do you have any plans for a similar exporter for Maya?
So it's unlikely that we'll support Maya in the same way we support 3D Studio Max. We put a lot of effort into it, and you can see really cool things like the live interaction with the editor. That's a lot of work, and it's a lot of effort to make it happen, and it's unlikely we'll be able to do it for both, so I'm quite sorry.
Thank you.
Hi, my question is about how far into Blizzard's franchises are you going to go for Blizzard Dota? Are we going to see some characters like the Lost Vikings, Blackthorn, or maybe even Word from Diablo 1?
If you ask our director, Sammy, he wants to have a Camaro driving around on the battlefield. He wants to see Blackthorn. He wants to see Lost Vikings as like an interchangeable hero. So the sky's the limit. I mean, we're not limiting ourselves to like just the three major universes. We could go back as far as Blackthorn. So the answer is yes, as far as you think.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
And if we don't get Word in there, we'll make sure to get his leg in there.
We have time for one more question.
Hi. Do you guys plan on implementing the ability to attach 3D portraits or 3D models directly to dialogues using your new UI system?
So I don't know exactly the details on that, but we made a lot of changes to UI. Everything that you saw in the various Dota videos and the screenshot that I had up there, that's all done using our new UI engine. So that specific question, I'm not a UI programmer myself. I don't know the answer to that, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's possible. We've done a lot of changes and a lot of cool improvements to the UI system.
Thank you.
We have time for one more question.
So it doesn't seem like jungling is really viable on this Dota map. I like it so I'm always Mia. People always have to worry about me, instill the fear into everybody else. But it seems like you just have to capture the little peon area practically, and then you're good to go. You go back to laning. Is there going to be any way that you can always constantly have that one Mia person?
Totally. I'm not sure people have figured this out on the floor yet, but the jungle camps actually drop what we call soul tokens. And when we made the towers such soft targets, we were worried like people are going to be scared to peel off and go into the jungle. So we decided to make the jungler kind of a firefighter and aggressor. So if you kill a camp, you'll get a little soul token. And if what the soul token can do is you can target near any tower, and you can warp in a Yeti. And if you kill the big monster, you can warp in like a Yeti chieftain. And they're really tough. They're roughly around the toughness of an ogre. So as you're doing your jungle pattern, you see a tower that's about to go down, you can drop 4 or 5 Yetis and really you can kind of keep an eye on your teammates. Or you can say, hey, they just killed that guy in that lane. You can drop 7 or 8 Yetis and just make a huge surge. So the jungling we have out there, we feel is actually a lot more strategic, has a lot more options than the traditional jungling you're used to. So hopefully you'll still be able to strike some fear into the hearts of your enemies.
All right, awesome. Thanks.
That is all the time that we have. Please give our panelists a round of applause.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.